Hello everyone in YouTube land. I want to get this haul video done before JLS live show comes on. I want to watch that. And This is my first haul video done in probably about a little over a month. And I've really seemed to have bought a lot. So here's the first book. I don't buy a lot of new slabs. But if the cover is really exceptional and I really fall in love with it, I just have to have it. And buying it already at 9.8 is a lot cheaper than having it bought in the store, getting it pressed, getting it graded, especially when the price is low. So this is a Del Auto cover, a variant, and I just think it really is a nice book. I'm very happy with that one. Now this one is a magazine I've added to my collection. Monster World #1. I've been looking for a decent copy of this for 10 years, and this is the best I've ever seen offered. It's an 8.0. I think it's really hard to find because of the black cover. I bought a lot of raw copies hoping they would be graded an 8.0 as they were advertised, but no, they weren't. Not even close. But so when this one came up, I jumped on it immediately. Hopefully I'll find a better copy someday, but right now this will have to do. And that is from the year 1964. And I was in a bit of a gold key kick lately. I got myself a nice 9.2 Turok Son of Stone from 1963, the year I was born. Very happy to have that. I also got this fantastic Voyage of Sinbad #1, and this one was a pedigree from the Boston Pedigree. Happy to have that. This is a very old case. I think the seller had bought a collection off of someone that graded these back in the day, probably over, over 15 years ago. This was graded. Now, the nice thing about the new cases, the best thing about the new cases, in my opinion, the new case is really good for CGC. This is the new case, but you see this strip on the top? They come off very easily, especially with time. Just time does it alone. They just come off. You can just dab a little crazy glue on them and put them back down. Or in my case, I'll just eventually have it put on a new slab. But even the label of the old slabs, in my opinion, weren't as good as any of the ones after it. But the new slabs, that label is under the plastic. It cannot come up. It is, really a very nice improvement. And the cases are clearer, they're thicker, the more weight to them, harder to break and crack. And this is another newer book I got, Alex Ross cover. It's $20. It's Alex Ross. I had to have it. So, another gold key I got from the same auction was this 1967 Korak, Son of Tarzan. Korak. I just love gold key painted covers. These things are really nice. I'm a sucker for any painted cover. This is a nice pedigree copy from the Mass pedigree of Magnus Robot Fighter, and this one is from 1969. I just fell in love with this cover instantly when I saw it, and added that to my collection. 9.2. The Korak was a 9 point, because of these old labels, you can't really see what the numbers are. They're so small. This is a 9.4 for that one. And I got a later Bronze Age Boris Karloff Tales of Mystery from 1978. And was a nice cover, I thought. And this was near the end of Gold Key's run on the Mystery Tales. Had another few years left. And I got a nice 1961 Mystery in Space 8.0 Adam Strange. I think he's an underrated hero. I just love his costume. I remember in my collection as a kid in the 70s, and 80s, any guest appearance he made, I just jumped on. So that was a nice copy. I love that cover. Now here's something I grabbed. This is a little bit of American history here. These are from 1900 to 1878, I believe. These are dime novels featuring a character called Frank Merriwells. Kind of like a little morality mystery type story. I guess he had a radio show in the 30s also. A possible, I think, TV show. But these are very old books. And it's only a 4.0, but considering the thing's 100 years old, I'll take it. Preserve that in my archive. I got 7 of these from the seller. It was an auction. I hope you can see this all right with not too much glare. I thought the covers were kind of quaint and cool. And a little violent. That was from 1899. And here's another one. Now, I love George Perez's work. This is my first copy of Avengers JLA #2. I don't have any of these before, but this came up at a really good price for 9.9. So I decided, well, may as well jump on that and get that. It's a nice copy. I do like the covers, except for I'm not that thrilled with issue #1, but the other covers I think are incredible, including this one. And this one was a wraparound cover. But I think I'm going to hold off and get the whole set of 4 issues and 9.9 for that. Let's see. Now another piece of American history I just picked up. New Buffalo Bill Weekly. This is from 1915. And it's kind of tales of the Old West. And the thing is, when this was published, it was in history. It was actually happening. Buffalo Bill was actually still alive. He didn't pass away until 1917. So that's kind of the age of this book here. Very happy to have that. Now, another magazine I've added to my collection this month was Deadly Hands of Kung Fu #5. I believe that's a Bob Larkin cover. Yes. And I just love that cover. Another book I've added to my collection was Spectacular Spider-Man #27. The first Frank Miller art on Daredevil. 9.8 white pages. I'm very happy to finally have one of these in my collection. Let's see here. Make this a little better. Nice Dave Cockrum cover. Yeah, we're kind of into the Bronze Age right now. My favorite point of collecting when I was a kid. I was just love going to the store and picking these books up. And this is a nice Marvel Premiere number 18 with Iron Fist. The final of his origin. 9.6. And I got this Amazing Spider-Man number 131. Nice John Romita cover and Gil Kane, I believe. Yes. But I remember actually owning this when it first came out. Bought it off the rack. Nice to have it in my collection again. Yes, rebuying my childhood. Now, I just got this today. Now, don't laugh. I got Brother Power the Geek number 1. 9.2 white pages. Now, this was a not bad seller. I mean, other things were sold less and wasn't canceled. This was mostly only lasted 2 issues because the publisher at the time hated it. It was pro-hippie. It was very 60s. And it ended basically because him and other writers did not like this title. But it leaned very heavily on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for the origin of the character. And it actually is a pretty good story. I have read it. So I decided to add this to my archive. Now, this is one of my favorite ones I had when I was a kid. I just adored this cover by John Romita. It is the epic crossover between the Avengers and Defenders in Defenders number 10, 9.6 white pages. This whole story, I wish they would actually make this into a movie. It'd be great. But this was, I just love this cover. I always have. It's one of my favorites from the Bronze Age. Another favorite comic from the Bronze Age. First appearance of the Tarantula in Spider-Man number 134. I just love that cover. John Romita's Spider-Man covers are just amazing. I don't even think there was a bad one in his run. 1974, 9.6 white pages. I just love this cover. And another one of his classics, I think. This was a little older. This is Silver Age, number 69. I got that one, 9.2. Nice Kingpin cover. And like I said, I don't think John Romita's ever done a bad cover on Spider-Man or anything else that I can recall. Now, I just added an amazing adult fantasy to my collection, my first one. This is number 10, 6.5. Nice Steve Ditko cover. I just think it's a nice cover. It's a nice early Silver Age, predates Spider-Man by 5 issues. Not the best shape in the world, but I'll take a 6.5 from 1962 any day. Now, another book I just got today. I've not even ever seen it before, but when I saw this cover, I just had to have it. I just fell in love with it. It's a later issue of Twilight Zone from 1977, issue number 75. 9.6 white pages. And it's a nice werewolf cover. Glare everywhere. I hope you can see that all right. But, yeah, I just love this. It's like most Gold Key books, it's uncredited for the artist. I think it's George Wilson. It looks like it's his style. But I'm not really sure. It's a beautiful cover. Another Golden Age comic book I got. Jet Powers number 3. I already own issues 1 and 2. Only 4 issues in this run from 1951. Nice science fiction comic book from Magazine Enterprises. I just thought it was a cool cover. The only cover I was not really thrilled with is the one I don't have yet, in number 4. I could have got a 5.0 from this same seller, but I wanted a little better copy for number 4. Considering my number 1 is 8.5, and number 2 is 7, and this one's 6, I don't want to keep going down. But this is a very hard one to find, actually, in good condition. Let's see. Another comic book I've added to my collection is another Alex Ross, Terminator: The Burning Earth number 5. This is the first run he ever did. His first art professionally was in issue 1 of this. Now, this one has some hidden slander on the cover, and I have not been able to figure out what it is, or probably in here somehow. If you know what it's saying, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. This curiosity is killing me. But it's a nice Alex Ross early work. And the last one I got, and I got today, is Superheroes number 1, 1967. It's Dell's attempt at a superhero comic book. They call it the Fab Four. I mean, how more blatant can you get? But it's something of more of a novelty than anything else, but it belongs in the archive as an example of this company's attempt at doing superhero work in the 60s. He has a pretty good character in the 40s, the Owl, which I kind of like. But in the 60s, they didn't do a lot of superhero stuff. But there's an example of that. Well, I hope you liked my haul video. I hope if you have any things you want to see in my collection, any ideas for a concept, anything you would like to see, please let me know. I'd appreciate any feedback. I love you all. I enjoy your programs. I actually watch you guys more than I actually watch any of the superhero TV shows. But I'm probably going to watch the Blu-ray of The House of Dark Shadows I just got tonight after JLS is on. So have a good night. Hope I didn't bore you.